Okay. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. So next step is we're looking at, once we've got folder structure, we need to open command prompts, right? If you're on Windows, what you have to do is Windows CMD, right-click, run as administrator, right? To do that 3 times. So if you can, the reason we're opening 3 terminals is because there's going to be a bit of compiling happening. So what we've done is we've structured the program in such a way that you don't have to just sit and stare at compile code. We just move on to other stuff, right? So when you open 3 command prompts, let me know. And so those of that have opened it, just go to C drive folio curriculum. So CD space C drive / folio curriculum. Pretty much. And then to the folio tutorial working files as well. I won't go into that. That's just the curriculum's fine. Same thing with the other 2 terminals. Okay, and so first one, this is where we need to do a bit of editing, and I've purposely done it so you know that the variant file needs to be edited. And so if you are on the folder, which is folio-curriculum, vagrant file here, right, open that up and into, and any editor is fine. And so that you will see this part, config.vbox.url. Okay? That part where your VBox is. To show you is when you config.vbox URL, you've obviously downloaded the VBox on USB. But if you want to do updates in the future, also disable check up as false. They're doing updates and you fire it up, you know, wait forever, right? So you wouldn't have to do it for the curriculum. You have a folio-table, which is in the USB as well. So if you want to see how the latest version of Folio stable is, have a look at that. I would even recommend that once you've learned the steps on how to go into SSH, folio-testing, and folio-stable to do your development, because that's just the latest versions, right? So does that look okay so far in terms of files? All right. Just going to double check really quick. Are you okay? Yeah. Yes. So just change, delete that. Oh, you hashtagged it? Yep. Cool. Okay. Getting to the right location, we can just minimize that. Go into your. So in the document, there is terminal 1. That's what I've done right at the top. Terminal 2 is sort of down here at the bottom. And I've also done is I've got terminal 3 sitting right in the middle. I should just try and move this here so I can see terminal 3 at some point, which is there. So terminal 3 right at the back there. So 1, 2, and then if you want 3, just click on that. That's just what you put. If you've got tabs and all that, you know what you're doing. So do the 1, 2, 3 tabs, right? Okay, go to terminal 1 and then just type in vagrant up. And what's happening now is the virtual box is being created, and the system is going to, well, you're going to do a bit of work. While that's happening, I've got a bit of parallel activity for you. So once you run vagrant up, back to your directory, which is under FOLIO curriculum, and then go to FOLIO tutorial working files, and then you'll see a bunch of sh files, right? And you'll also see mod users, zip, and tutorial platform. The reason we've zipped these is because every day I test this, and there could be a code change. So I've downloaded these and put it as static for now. But if ever there's a Git update, you would get this version. So you unzip all these 3 files now: mod user, OP, and Stripes tutorial. So one after the other. So if you use something like 7-zip, it's like extract here. So make it not a nested folder. Yeah. If you get an issue, just say skip. No. That's one of the reasons why I put it in C drive. And secondly, if you use the normal Windows extract function, that get those errors. For some reason, 7-zips figured out how to work around it, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Yes. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah. So just warn you. All right. Yeah. So what's going on? I can see on my terminal 1, sort of boxes up and running, right? So go to terminal 1, and then just if you're again on Windows, you can just do vagrant tab.bat, right? And this is where things are going to get tricky. If you install Git correctly, it's all good. If you, then we'll sort of walk around and see what's going on. So I'm going to hit enter, and so my computer is just doing something interesting, and so I'm in. All right. Hope this is what you will see when you type in vagrant ssh.bat. If you don't, let me know. Linux is different. Yeah, just log in. You know what I'm going to do the same thing on all 3 of the 4 terminals as well. Terminal 2, go to vagrant same thing here, sh path, right? Individual sh sections here. The next step is to now, again, we sort of have to repeat this 3 times, but yes. Okay. Yep, that's all right. Yeah. Okay. So in the meantime, we'll continue with more things that we have to do. Go to the Stripes tutorial platform folder, and you find standalone _package. Right? Like that. Copy.json and stripes.config.js. Paste it in the Stripes tutorial platform. Right? So bring it into the root here. The Stripes tutorial platform now, package.json and stripe.config is from the standalone _package. The files are also in user _package, but slightly different configuration. And I'll explain that as we get to the module. So, it will be in the standalone, and you'll have this sort of folder structure there, right? So far? Yeah. So the other thing that I'll probably do, if you are already into in Vagrant, you've done the Vagrant SH, you can do cd / Vagrant. Yeah. vagrant folio working files. So go to directory cd/vagrant/folio working files. I'll come to you in a minute. cd/vagrant working files, and the same thing with /vagrant/working files, right? And go back to terminal 1 and do ls. See all of the files that are computer box, and hence you've got the vagrant situation, right? Okay. Just 2 minutes, folks. I'm just going to check. Yeah. Give it a. Sounds good. That's all right. Yeah. No, wait till it finishes. So, okay. What you can do? Go here and type in vagrant. Yeah, vagrant. SS. No, backslash. SS. Tab. S. Enter. Okay. So give it a minute. So I think you're logging into SSH as well. Yeah, wait for that to finish. Yeah, you have to wait for that to finish. Yes. No. And then /dash curriculum. So there's a folio -curriculum /curriculum .vbox. Oh no, you have to do vagrant stuff, yes. Show me the directory. Go to C drive. Folio -curriculum. And then just copy that part. Folio -curriculum. And then folio -curriculum.vbox. Yeah. No, that's all right. What's going on there? Issue here. Something going on at the. Can you just maximize? Maximize. Give me a second. So just check what's wrong with that specific file. Still here? Yes, depends on the computer speed as well. Oh, okay. All right. Only mine is a quick computer. You still loading? Oh, wow. Okay. How are you going? Oh, wow. Okay, good. You're up as well? Awesome. All right. Yes. Yes. What about the +6 as well? Gotcha. Yes. On those, it's all good. And then Cam does it on the Mac. Not one of the bus. He just said Telltale. I was like, maybe it's a +X, but I was like, yeah. But it's a good point. It should be a +X. So just file, 3 slides. So it's backslash. It should be // Awesome. Yes, that should do it. Line 73. Can you go to line 73? Yeah, something wrong here. Because it's throwing an error for line 73. But yes, read the file. Let's recreate it. So the file. Go to your directory. delete the file. No, delete it. Yes. And then click master. Double click. Open it. Just double click. No. Just that one. Folio master. Double click. And then copy that. Drag it out into. I don't think copy will work because. Yeah. Oh, good. Okay. And now open it in code. Open with code. Oh no. Okay. Yep. So just to do it, yeah, just do backspace. Keep going and save. Yep. One more. Yep. Save. Okay. Now let's try that again. The other thing. Yep. Hit enter because you may have done run as administrator. Oh, good. Okay. Yep. Yeah, it's working now. So there's a character when you open the file. Something went wrong. Yes.
Maybe like when it extracts something went wrong.
Probably. I'm not sure. But that's all right. Yeah, I think you're okay now. A few minutes?
Any step I need?
No, that's pretty much it. So we're ready for the prep. And if the boxes are up, we can move on. So who still have is waiting? All right. Okay. Done. The box is up. Okay. And our okay. Because if a computer doesn't have alpha-V,
I've had it running. I had those running for.
yeah. Okay. All right. So what you can do is go back to the directory where you've got Vagrant, and so folio-cur underscore default is what you created. Yeah. Go back to the directory, and then folio-correct. Okay.
It's not a ready issue.
Yes. And so what you have to do is you can do Vagrant destroy.
Yeah, no, it's a virtual box issue. I've got a virtual box that isn't that.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. Okay. It is being recorded. Okay. Fair enough. All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think my computer is just powerful enough, so it just finished. I should have downgraded. Yes. Understood. All right. I'm still thinking. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, it hasn't done anything. Oh, interesting. Okay. So what I would do is one of the okay. Good news is it's really easy, right? I've put a bit of effort to make sure you guys don't have to do all this copy pasting. It'll be really easy. So for the ones that have got about 4 that have turned up, just follow the screen, and pretty sure you guys will be able to just follow everything afterwards. It's very easy, right? You don't have to worry about copy pasting and all that stuff, right? So I'm just gonna check with you. How are you doing? Yeah, good. Okay. These couple more. That's good. One of the challenges that I found, well, at least from what I heard when this first us at an conference was that firstly there was a waiting because they had to download. So we've done the downloading bit. That's all done. Thing was there was a lot of copy pasting. So instead of you having to think about what are you doing, you were busy copy pasting. So we've eliminated those steps. And so at least from this perspective, I'm going to take a quick look at mine. Yeah, I'm in my folders, and so because I'm on Windows, I had to sort of do, when I was creating these files, I had to what we call to Unix command because the /r. So if you ever find yourself in that position, try DOS Unix sort of thing, right? Okay, so I'm just looking where we are now. Obviously, if you are folder, which is folio tutorial working files, and you /01 tab, you will find an export your root.sh and hit enter. Oh, good. Okay. It took a while for it to think. I don't know what happened there. But yes, the command worked, so you should be able to see your working folder here. Essentially, if you go back to the code and look at folder working tutorial, and then 01, it's saying export folio pwd and export folio root, right? This means that it's all fine, it's working on your computers. If you don't see this on your computers, that means that the files can't execute on Linux, right? Now, obviously, there's a step here that says run chmod-r77 start.sh. Chris kindly pointed out that uses the chmod +x function instead. So yes, it's fine, but use I'll correct this in the soft copy when uploaded into right. Okay. So the next step would to type tab.03 tab enter. So I want to quickly take you into 0 first and find this hashtag git clone and it's going to get the Okapi Okapi core, right? I'll disable this because we've downloaded Okapi already in the folder. So cd Okapi ls. So if you just go in here and type /02 and hit enter, tab, and then enter, right? The file. It just means that things are there, which is good. You can move on to the next step. The next step, scroll down, so you can ignore the rest of the stuff as you go through this document. So notice the space so far, we've spent time just looking at that box. That's it. It's still go, but it's all going to be easy after this. So we've already done Vagrant SSH, right? Because in that little section, we've already CD Vagrant, showing you this is the actual curriculum, how we've had to adjust it to move things faster. This page number 6 is saying 02 git clone and then terminal 1, right? So I've already done that for you. You don't have to get the git clone, just run as is. 03, it says executed, but we're still in this little box. So I'm going to run 03 now, okay? So in terminal 1, I'm going to /03 tab. If I go into 3 here, it's going to your copy folder, and it's install, right? So it's basically starting to compile now. So the virtual box that you get with /curriculum has DK 1.8, MVN, and so Yarn installed already. For whatever reason you want to run this directly on your computer, you have to install JDK, Yarn, and Maven. The reason we're going with VirtualBox is because we just don't want to disrupt your existing working computers. If you want to you have a separate developer computer, you could use that if you wanted to, right? So on here, if I do 03 and we install a copy, I'll enter now. What I'm going to do, start processing and dumping a bunch of stuff from the internet. Hence, an internet connection is required. We've tried to download as much as possible, but we're trying to set stuff up. It says, look, it needs some important repository, so it will start downloading. So 1, leave it alone, right? You've got work going on there. 2, and we're going to step right ahead and go into 29 right? So have you heard of NPM or Node Package Manager? Yeah. So it uses Yarn instead. Are you guys familiar with Yarn? No, I wasn't until I started working on Folio. So Yarn basically, I think Facebook's version of NPM, and so that's what Folio is using, Yarn. And so in Terminal 2, I would pretty much advise repository where Yarn is, or where the repository is. Go /inform yarn, sorry, /29, then tab inform yarn.sh, right? That's okay, and that's fine. And then I'll go straight into 30, which is install yarn. And so it's going to CD Stripes tutorial platform. So you guys remember that folder? And we package and the Stripes into that. It's going to use those configuration files to install yarn, right? What I'm going to do is quickly open that file here, which is in the Stripes folder, with here, stripes.js config. You'll find some configuration info, and it's installing a module called Trivial. And some of the word Trivial, you'll see it once Yarn's up and running. And if you go into package.json, you'll find Stripes, and then again, test for Trivial, right? So it's installing the Stripes Trivial module for the front end. It'll all start making sense once I've run Stripes. It's just a lot of code right now, okay? Compilation first. Because if you look right now, it's all compiling at the back. So I'm jumping ahead. So in waiting, we can just keep going. So I think the computer is able to handle it. So see if your computers can, but let's see how that goes. So I'm going to straight into Yarn as well, which is the following working tutorials into what is this? /29. So we've already done inform Yarn, so that's all done. I'm going to do /30 now and install yarn.sh, right? Enter processing, all right? So the difference between Okapi and Yarn or Stripes is that Okapi is the back end and Stripes is the front end, right? So Okapi gives you the interactivity in the back end with the Java modules to connect to the data model or anything else, but it doesn't front end. It just passes messages back and forth in format, and I'm going to show you how that works. So you do the designing, and then that's what connects to the Okapi modules. The other we have here is mod user, and so we need to do a bit of compiling on that as well. So if you look at that box, after execution in terminal 1 is complete, then go to terminal 2 and type tab 32, etc. So don't do that last step till phase is complete. So let's leave it alone for now. Terminal 3 alone. Looking at terminal 2, hang on, what have I done here? Nope. All right. I've actually run the command in terminal 3, but that's fine. We keep going, and then in terminal 3 we have of having to install pretty much modules. But we do anything, we still have to wait for the copy installation to complete. So this sounds for probably everyone else to catch up to this step, if possible, right? So the point so far, which is as long as you have these files, you don't worry about going to the web and copy pasting these commands and hitting enter, / the file name, it will start executing, right? Would follow the instructions in the document, right? Because there's certain conditions in place, and I'll explain what those conditions are later. But so while this is going on, I want to show you what this is doing. And what to do is imported a copy in Eclipse, Eclipse is an IDE for Java developers. It does other programming languages as well. But in case, what I did was I've loaded these in using a given import. Okay, okay.
I can't recall a copy for where I was expecting. I had it under another copy folder. Okay, so I copied everything.
Yep.
And I'll see that's it. I got and
Okay. You should command you run. And this has a minute. Can you show me the folder structure again? Just the folder structure.
yeah.
Yeah. So do a copy. Okay. All right.
This again as well.
Yeah. Let's remove it because because there's a POM file
Okay.
inside as well. You do MUN install, goes into folder, and execute the POM file. I was going to show that, but yeah, please give it again. Give it a shot again. Other option is obviously to delete a copy and just unzip it again. Just see if that works. Do you have fun? Yeah, good. So just delete, just do Control Shift to delete. Delete is fine. Okay. Extract here. Click. Yep, that's all good. All right. Let's go back. And then C3. Okay. I think it's thinking now. Good. Right? Yes. I think that something went wrong with the repo downloads as well. So that's usually the trick. So, so you guys know what happened just now. Yeah, having trouble to build or do an MVN install copy. Basically, what he had done was in a curriculum and installed it, but then it was in a copy folder as well. Copied the content and then pasted it in. Now, what happens with Java, and this is what I found out recently when I started playing with Folio, is got this a copy here. Actually, I should show you the actual folder because one of the good things with Eclipse is it shows only the files that are relevant. So if you change code, for example, test auth mod, it'll show only the source. Just look at that source immediately. But if you actually go into the folder structure, which is here, I'm going to the folder structure. I might as well maximize this so it's better. Okay, so you can see all the extra folders and then source and then Java. There's a huge bunch of folders here, right? You know what's happening in Java? You can use it or use an IDE like me, become lazy or see the easy way out. But IDEs are generally a good idea to sort of use this. So what's happening with these IDEs, well, these modules, is one, you're looking at a copy. In a copy, you have this POM.xml. .xml is, I think, a project model. Okay, forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm just learning this stuff myself. But it's what MVN uses to build your Java projects. Now, if you run a POM.xml here, and you to or common, there's another POM.xml, right? So doing that as well. And so copy core, it's built as well. And simply what happened with Sita was he had a copy, and then there was a POM there and just started recursive whatever. So the here was delete the unforget and then start. And it's working now? Awesome. Yeah. So yes. It has not happened to me, but if it happened to you, that's what you do, right? Awesome. Okay, cool. So I will simplify this again. Yes, so I was talking about the four structures here. Let me just see how I'm going with the builds. If everything works successfully, you see build success, right? Is anything else? Mission is to read through every single line. That's, I mean, you're a developer. You should, I mean, no one's going to help You need to figure this out yourself, right? And so that's the only solution I could offer. And worst case scenario, like what happens if this case, just delete and restart again. You get a blank slate. Just move on. Yeah. All right. So I'm on here, but I'm going to spend some time just explaining this folder structure. So if anyone gets a chance to catch up, I think that'll be good. But let's just going for the sake, I guess, education. So here you have Okapi Common Core Test Auth module, tester module, and Okapi Test module, right? So this is the core Okapi system. And so, at least I don't think we would, at least in here, would not be changing this unless it's really required. What we're doing is interacting with Okapi and the modules deployed and configured. And that's what I'm going to show you next, right? Enable, deploy, and configure. Those are the steps. So in here, there are two modules already. There is the authentication module, and there is the test module, right? You can use here to deploy code, and this is primarily for testing purposes. So if I look back here, this is at a high level how the code looks. So I'm going to go straight into my next step. So I've done success here, looking at Terminal 2 and Terminal 3. I'm looking at Yarn front end. The build is complete as well. So Yarn I'm going to get into later on down the line, but just to show you something, just blank code, I'm going to actually skip my met or process and see if I can at least show you something, and that all this is not in vain. There is there is gold at the end of the rainbow, something like that. So if I go to FOLIO tutorials and then go to, so I've already informed them is there, right? I'm going to start Yarn because it's this folder, it's all been done. So basically what you're doing, you're going into CD Stripes tutorial platform, and that's host 0.0.0.0. If you do put this, then the only way Stripes is going to run is in the local host of the Linux system. But by bringing it up to 0.0.0, it's saying I'm going to look for the port that I'm deployed on anywhere on the network, right? It's going to catch on, and then you do start. By default, it's just beyond start. But this is that special command that lets you build on VM and run on your computer. So all you have to do here is look at 31, and so here I've done everything is successful. /31 tab, right? Hit enter. It's thinking. You're starting developer dev. How many of you have used Webpack before, compiled Rack, for example? Yeah, if you've done that, then you'll notice that it's a huge amount of dependencies that need to be compiled and turned into one single file or whatever. So now saying listening at HTTP 0.0:3000, right? So you go to the browser and type in localhost and hit enter. It'll not immediately because at least as far as this is concerned, it's still thinking, right? Hit localhost enter, it's still thinking there, but then I come back and look at this and see what happens. Saying deprecation warning, all right, giving you a bunch of stuff, it's all fine. And waiting. So doing that, how are we going the other ones catching up? Oh, so far, okay, good, okay. You, Craig, just stuck on, yeah, load it all, okay. So one of the other things we noticed, or at least I noticed, is if your laptop in the box does not have Hyper-V turned on, V is for, sorry, yes, virtualization. So if you don't have virtualization turned on the BIOS, which by default is not going to work. So that be some of the issues that you're facing. Yeah? Okay, good. Okay. Oh, so you ran. Oh, good. Okay. Good, that's stable. Okay. It worked. Did you run everything? Yes? Yes. Okay. Okay. All right. Just my solution, of course, is again to restart a Windows computer. That's my solution. If you restart Windows, sometimes the problems just go away. So I don't know why, but that's it's yeah. You basically what would happen is when you restart, it would halt any vagrants or virtual boxes. If it's been like this for a long time, yeah, if it's been like that for a long time, just give it a restart, see what happens. All right. So I've skipped steps just to show you something. I can look at this Webpack build in 8,270, 82,000 milliseconds. And so look here, look at whatever this is, right? This is something. So we'll have a bit more installation to go, but this is to show you stripes at the front end and how it's working. And so remember Trivial a minute ago, if I click on this, it gives a little app on the front. This is not interacting with Okapi. It just types on its own, that's running code and just doing what you want. So if I say and then read, that's really simple. There's nothing great about this, but at least it tells you that it's now running on the Okapi fundamental structure. And as developers, if you can get this basic up and running, you're looking at the code and start adding codes line by line. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a really slow coder. I have to like look every single command, copy, paste, hit F5, test, etc., etc. I cannot write 100 lines of code in like 5 minutes. It doesn't work. And so this is a good starting point from an R&D perspective. You have an idea, you want to do something, write one line of code at a time and keep going. So that's something to show you. So yes, we have shown the front end, which is probably, so I'll leave this on. I'm going to press Control C because one more thing that I need to build, right? And so we're still in a little box because before a copy is complete, I build mod user because that's part of the curriculum as well. And so I'm taking the step and go straight to, so in that box, I have, what do I have here? Oh yes, so I have internal 3 type 32 and 33. So 32 git mod user again. I've commented out the clone section. You can do cd mod users ls just to double check. This is term number 3 dot slash to tab. The file is there, right? And so 33 mod user MAN install. So I'm now compiling the code for this module. And so if I do a dot slash 33 tab, hit enter, start doing its magic, right? And again, just to let you know, these modules are being downloaded separately. If I go to GitHub, for example, and so look for GitHub and then FOLIO, hit enter. Modules here. And so this is what you would start with, which is the OP, right? This is the core of FOLIO. And you have all these other modules that go along. And so I talked about mod user. It's a search for mod dash user here. That's why this is going away from that monolithic development to modularized development. You've got bits of code, microservices running on this side, self-contained, okay, in the center. You put those in, you put a front end in, and it does the interaction in terms of how things are going. There's a process to getting all this working, and so that we're still on, and imagine the first page. There's a bit more to go, but I will at least explain how how this is working. So you have a good idea of how to at least complete the curriculum if we don't have time to do it here, right? User, we keep going, and so if I look back here and look at this says, and terminal 2, I've stopped this module we're seeing just now, and so mod is users being built right now. Okay. Finally, go to the next page, which is number 5. Sorry, it's number 7. So number 7, talk about running a module, right? So you have the first module that we're going to run here, which is under number 5. So if I look at file 505 here, I'm test B, right? This is a module that you want to run. And if I look at Eclipse, where is it? I'm looking at Okapi test module, right? When I click on this here, source, main, Java. What's giving me so many folders? I'll double click on this file here. It opens that and run this code first, right? And so I'm on this page, 1, and I'll do 05. So /05, tab, hit enter. That's obviously not good. Oh, that's because I haven't run the test module yet. I'm 04 first. Like that, right? /04, tab, hit enter. Should explain what 4 does. You're running what you've just compiled, right? You do mvn install, right? On copy, what is it's going into this folder structure, looking at this module, which is Okapi test module -fat.jar, and running it here. It's now running in the background, and it's saying I'm listening on port 8080, okay? And then go to the next tab or terminal and type in /05. I'm now calling the module that I've just run on the first terminal, and then hit enter. Well, it just says it works. It could have even said hello world, and if you wanted to do, then go into the code, right? Do Control S, say it, hit enter. It will say it works, and just change it to hello world or whatever, right? The issue here now is that you have to do install again, because that's basically a compilation of the code. Now, you have a choice. You can either run a compile at the core or copy level, which means it would drill down and compile all of the core, module, header, test module, etc. Or you go into this specific test module main article, which is there. Now, this is what I will be doing. Right now, I'm just using Eclipse, but there's a good chance I may move to some other editor. If I right-click on this, run as an install, I'm just going to make sure that this is actually running somewhere else. I think so. So let's just do MEN install here. Run the code. It's running on JDK. That's very important. You need to sort of set that up. This is beyond the scope of the curriculum, but I'm showing you, if you went into proper development for FOLIO, this is one of the way you would pretty much go about doing it. And so, yeah, it's going to start downloading a bunch of code. I thought I'd run this. Oh, good. Yes, I am. Successful. Everything is good. Now, I'm pretty sure there is a way to run a jar file from Eclipse. I just haven't figured it out. If you guys know, let me know. If not, the only solution, of course, is to go back to your terminal and do it here, which is run the code as a jar file. And it just runs there. And got this and folder here. This thing's still running, so that's good. All right, what did I do? It's run 05. If I have the code here, 05, I've just into a copy test module. There it is, right? This is 5 here, just calling the test module. If posted, this is the basic stuff of a copy, by the way. First, I just called it, and it said it works, right? The next step that I want to do is I want to put some data to it, right? generally what you would do is start posting based on data, which has configuration information. For the test purposes, I'm just going to say testing or copy. 06 post to test B. So on terminal 2 dash 06 tab, hit enter, right? It'll say it works. And 06, still saying 05. Dot 06 tab, hit enter. Hello, testing or copy. So if you wanted to just change this, just like, hey, that's what happens. I'm going to save this. Let's see what happens. And then, hey. So this is simple stuff. It's just passing data to a module in the back end. You want to pass headers to copy. A way to do that is use the xheader command. I'm setting blah here. And so I'm going to run 07.07 tab command, and it's passed the xheader to the end of the file here. Okay. So again, we're just learning how to interact with the copy modules. This is a test module. How do we interact with it? What's happening with the data and making it sort of interact as a module on its own. 08 test B stop header dot slash 08 tab, hit enter. There's a header here that says a copy dash stop because I said so, header dash stop because I said so, right? Just passing header information to a module to see how the module is interacting. This is what a copy is going to do. So your front end through Stripes is going to send a command to a copy. A copy will send that command to the module. The module is going to respond. There's additional modules that could run before that module, to that module, and we're going to get into the technicalities of this. So if you thought this was tough, we just scratch the surface of what we're doing with FOLIO. But you know, it's easy to follow along. These files are going to make life really easy for you. So we finished up to 08, which means page number 7 is done, right? So page number 8. Now this is where you run a copy for the first time, right? So I'm going to terminal 1, and on the document you will see run copy.sh, terminal 1, Control C, and then run. So I'm on terminal 1 right now. If you're running the Java file, so hit Control C here, right? And so that's all done. And so I'm back to 09. All it's doing is running a Java file. It's got the debug function -jar or copy, and it's running in development mode. Now, the switch here is not persistent. It's in memory, right? If you want it persistent, there is in the document, it says you can use -d storage equal to Postgres. So if you want to run some commands like installing modules, creating a tenant, which I'll show you guys, and you want it to be persistent, you have to run dstorage equal to Postgres. So I'll let you play with that later on when you get there. But for just go with what's in memory. So no dstorage for now. And so look at this, and I run 09 in terminal 1 /09 tab, hit enter. It's thinking really quickly, and that's going to run the copy. You say listening on port 9130. Okay. So listening on port 9130. Let me go straight into the 10, and I'm saying, okay, a copy. You've now started. Give me a list of all the modules that are installed or been enabled with you, right? And so I'm terminal 2, and you'll notice on the document it says terminal 2. Do /10 tab, hit enter, and it's going to return this empty JSON string. So basically, we haven't installed any modules yet, right? And so I'll do /11 to say list all of the tenants that are here in a copy, right? And hit tab and hit enter. This is installed as well. So as you can imagine, a copy of FOLIO is a multi-tenant system. So you need to install modules. You need to associate modules to tenants. So when a tenant logs into the system, they're only the modules that are associated to the tenant. So far I've shown you the module separately, tenant separately, in terms of what to do to list all of them. Nothing there. So I'm going to 12 now. And so go to 12, which is on page number 9. It says register proxy test basic, right? I'm registering the test module, the test B that you guys saw with us. What I'm going to register now, and I'm running it on port 930 because port 930 is where a copy is listening. Okay, so that happens here. So that's still running, and then /12 enter. Now this is what is happening as far as the file is concerned. It tells you the key of the module and of the handlers, what methods it supports, get, post, and what is the pattern, as in /testb. I would do 9130/testb to run the module. So there's some tenant information and how do you initially interact with the core or copy file here, right? Done all of that. If I scroll down, that's what I see here. And so if I go into list all tenants, 10, list all modules and hit enter, I see one module has been installed now, right? Does that make sense so far? Yeah.
Previously you ran the modules separate.
Myself. Okay, correct. Like a bus. So it's a central point where so the way it would work is, let's say you have, so I'm going to use Richard's analogy. He pulled out a smartphone, and that's a platform, right? Now, you have apps on platform, which is a phone. And so what happens is, if one app needs to talk to the other, or vice versa, there's a lot of lines. And so you can just imagine the amount of lines that go through. Just imagine modules here and a central copy here. All lines connect to the central point. All lines connect to the central point. So all modules have to focus on is, how do I talk to a copy and transfer data back and forth? I have to write separate connectors on my modules to work with with the modules, right? I have a common language. So a copy now becomes this common language that allows modules to talk to each other, interact, and get the data out. Yes, exactly. Yes. So there's another test auth module that I'll show you where we're talking about the test module right now. But when you install an authentication module, what he does is when a request goes through to module, he's like, hang on, this authentication module is saying you need to provide an authentication first to connect to the module. And add layers in between to say, before interacting with this module, I need to make sure you're the right person. And I'll show you that as we sort of continue to go along. Yes, you can, but in production, it's firewall. If I'm sitting and I want to talk to Jill, I can't. It's locked out. So for example, right now, I'm running localhost test B to the module. It's on computer. If I had localhost test B to the module from my computer here, I couldn't connect to it. So modules are like microservices, which have life of their own. But it's like, I guess, I've built a finger, but this finger is unless it's connected to the body. So you can run on its own, but it's better when you have modular connections through your copy bus or central code, right? Okay. We'll keep going. I'm sort of mindful of time. We're at number 10, so we've got another 29 to go. Let's see how we go. Like I said, it gets faster, interestingly. The complexity of the system is more as we go along. But at least in my experience when I was testing this, things are running smoothly afterwards. So let's see, hopefully less explanations. But I hope you've understood at this point what's happening. If you feel free to just let me know afterwards, and I'll fill you in on the details. All right, so you've done 10, and so I've listed everything. Now, number 13 is going to delete the module, right? And this is to show you how the delete function works. /13 tab, and so I'm going to go into 13 here, and I'm delete, and I just use the delete method and put a post delete, right? And hit enter again. And so deleted it. Now, if I go back to 10 and hit enter, for 10. So let me install it because I actually need it. So I'm going back into 12 and so register the copy test speed. Hit enter, it's registered. Just go to 10 again, list it, it's all there, right? Very simple, good. And I'm going to do, so I've just enabled or rather registered the module and I need to deploy it, right? So to deploy it to a node, okay? And so now going to the nodes aspect of things, there is this function in copy that says give list of all the nodes that are enabled in this sort of environment. So it can be clusters of systems running as a farm, and so copy would be mindful of that through the discover method. So if I did /14 right now, /14 tab, hit enter, it tells me there's node at localhost and it's listening at port 9130, right? And so obviously for this curriculum it's just the one, but you could get into advanced topics if we want to later down the line. I've just gone and said, okay, I know what node I need to be looking at, and so let me deploy the module into that node, which is number 15 now. Number 15 is on page number 10. So /15 tab, hit enter, and just notice some activity happening on the top, debug information that's happening. That's why I've put these two terminals here. So as you run commands, you can actually see some activity happening on the top as well. So in the future, if you build an app and you run it and you see errors, just take the terminal on the top there. That'll just give you a good idea of what's going on, right? And so this is the content of what I just ran. So if I look at running this file called a copy deploy test basic, and in instance ID localhost 9130, right? This service, this is localhost, this is URL, copy, right? I've done that. And if I look at number 6, before I do 16, I just want to check. Yep, deployed it, and I'm going to run it through 9130. And it is number 16, /16 tab, hit enter. So now you're running this through a copy, right? You've added a module through a copy, and 15, sorry, /16 tab, hit enter. Missing. Okay, so asking a copy to connect to the module, saying give me the it works data, right? A copy saying who do you want it for? Where's the tenant, right? So you now create a tenant. So you can see where the piece is missing. You've got the app module, you've got a copy, but the module needs to connect to a copy and the user through another parameter called the tenant. So this is where we go into page number 10 now, and we start looking at creating a tenant. So if I go to number 17, I'm going to now set up a tenant. Tenant information is in a copy-tenant.json, right? And so let's run this really quickly, /17. And so this is the content. My tenant ID is testlib, library, our own test library. Any library that you want, just the ID here, testlib, okay? And so if I go into number 17, I'm going to page number 11, go into 18, which is in a test module for tenant. So the module now has to be enabled for the tenant because you just did a tenant, right? So I go into 18, this is the code here, and so enable this. So there's some instructions in to say run it as a proxy testlib and run it against the tenant. And so I'm going to just run this very quickly. Number 18, /18 tab, hit enter. All right. It's simple. The data in that is ID and the name of the module. So in here you're specifying the module that's on there. And if I go into 19, I have to run the same command again with the module test speed, but I'll say a copy copy tenant equal to testlib, right? And so remember the instructions in terms of what I was telling you about how to pass data and header information to a copy. There was a reason I was making you go through that. Eventually, this is where it's all coming together. And so we're now looking at running 19, so /19 tab, hit enter, and it works. And you guys probably remember the word "it works" from code, where we just change this really simply and then run, right? So it's really simple that way. So we've taken a really basic module and shown you how you can install it into a copy, create a tenant, have registered, deployed, and configured. Configured is where the module needs to be associated to a tenant, and then under request to a copy to say, I want to talk to this module for this tenant, right? Give me the information based on that request. The tenant has come back saying it works. Yeah. So a lot of small pieces. So if you look at it, you're like, how on earth do they work? But then eventually when you look at this curriculum, it's starting to make sense. And so, you know, it does look complex right now, but the fundamental here is that it just allows for modularity. You can go away and build a microservice and have that deployed, and it just helps the system sort of know you can put apps whenever you want, you can remove it, or if you want to turn on apps, turn off apps. There's just a lot of flexibility. So if you're running a smaller university or college, for example, you have the apps that you want and have that deployed there. If you're a university, for example, you have to wait for, I think, most of the apps to be built at this point. But that's which as developers, we have the ability to probably expedite that process if we're really interested. And so, yes, that's what we've done so far. Let me see. Up to 19. So we were at 10 probably 20 minutes ago. We've gone up to 19. So like I said, it was going to get faster. So that's good. And then finally, I'm going to do a number 20, just check everything. Look, list of all the modules that are running for test B at tenants. So /20 tab, hit enter. What's on here? Found 20, list all modules. So let me install tenants first. .11. So that's the tenants, for install tenants. Remember, it just gave you, or rather returned a blank JSON code. Now there is a tenant here as well, right? So it's page 11, and we're to chapter 3 now. So there's 3 more chapters to go, which is 2. Now about the copy authentication, right? So we talked about a copy, we've talked about a module, we've talked about links and how they interact with each other. We need to have an authentication layer. And so this is where we must start adding authentication into this. I go back to Eclipse. Thankfully, we compiled the test auth module already, right? But we need now enable, deploy, and configure. These are the things you need to remember with a module and a copy, right? Deploy, configure, these 3 things. With a module, needs these 3. And so up to file 21, that we've been leading up to. How do we enable, deploy, and configure, right? And so we can speed through, and I can just do this stuff really quickly for you. We have a test auth. Let's take a look at that one. So here I'm saying go 21, press Control C, right? And so /21 tab. Let me go into 21 here. Just running the jar file. I'm connecting to the authentication module directly. Like, remember with TestB, I'm not going through a copy. I'm going to them directly just to show you what it does. Click on this, hit enter. I'm now running this. It's doing a bunch of stuff. I go into 22, which is here. I'm saying I want to log in, okay? And with FOLIO is API-based and JSON-based. And so you will find that when you build apps and systems, you're building a lot of these curl commands, not curl, but RESTful APIs, if you will, or RESTful commands. So in this case, I'm sending your copy tenant blah. This data saying username seb, password seb, pass, right? And I'm going to try and push this through in .22, /22 tab. remember I turned on the auth module up here. So that's what's running. So when I get response, so it says 200, okay, everything is fine. And this is where it's now given me a token, and the dummy token that's been sent to me as well. And so again, just to clarify, it's running the module directly. And this is how you can do module development. You can run a module in isolation, build the functionality that you want, and then add the additional layers to then connect to your copy service. I think that'll be a good way to sort of progress towards module development. If I go to 23 and I want to check, well, actually, before I do that, let me change this. I want to change and then press save. And then run this again, 22, hit enter. Wrong name and password, right? So imagine the app's gone into a data store and pulled some information, it's all wrong, doesn't work. So hit Control Z, Control S, up there, hit enter, it's off again, right? Number 3, which here, just out of curiosity, no one's really following on their computers, but you guys are following on the screen, right? It's clear, yeah, so far, yep, good, awesome. So again, you know, if you have these explanations, I'll finish in 30 minutes. Files took 2 days because of the copy paste and having to understand everything. So these files are really useful and make life really easy for you. Number 23 is I'm going to token. So /23 tab, hit enter, and so it's given me this dummy token, right? And if you notice, when I did the username password here, it returned a dummy token. When you log in, a copy authentication module will give you a token. Any future interaction that needs to happen, or we can continue. We can sort of pause for a while. Well, we need another 40 minutes. Yes, exactly. But we can pause. And we can go discuss because are you done?
You're okay. Yeah, I started the time.
Yes. Yeah, this is gonna, yeah, it will probably take another 30 minutes.
Right.
So now what I'll do is a suggestion. Right? If you're really interested, I make a discussion point saying, can you this? And if you guys are interested, then vote for that, right? And we will have a discussion here to continue this, and we can just continue with what we're doing, right? No call, no pressure. Yes, vote for what I'm going to suggest, right? All right, I'm going to just stop this for a second, and we can come back and continue. I'll give you guys a break as well.
I think it's probably why.